One of my mantras were making something out of nothing. Your impression that you leave after every job is going to set you up for your next job. I've been in the industry for over 25 years now, and I've been doing it professionally for, I would say, 20 years. Earlier in my career, it was a bit of a struggle because, for one, I hadn't really decided on what I wanted to do creatively. I knew I wanted to be in music. I was inspired to become this big producer, musician. I wanted to be like James Brown. Your family and, especially your parents, they want you to, grow up and be better than them, and they want you to pursue a career and things like that. My parents really probably wanted me to have especially my dad, he probably wanted me to have more of a engineering type profession because he was an engineer. And my mom, she just really wanted me to have a job that would sustain myself and keep me out of her kitchen. How I got my start initially was I was working at a computer store. And at the time, I was actually doing my own little producing on the side at home and working at this computer store. And then this lady came in one day. Her name is Lavetta.
Lavetta was a basketball star at Notre Dame, where she majored in engineering.
Though turned down at first, Lavetta's persistence eventually paid off.
Lavetta was told she'd never make it as a sports agent because she was a woman.
She needed to buy a laptop for a friend of hers that does graphics. So I showed her the laptop, and she was like, okay, do you know how to do Illustrator and Photoshop? And I was like, yeah, I know how to do Illustrator and Photoshop. And she says, we need somebody. Take this number down and come down. I want you to meet somebody, and they're gonna see if you can work for our company. Lo and behold, this company was called Dada Footwear. I came in as a assistant production graphic artist. That's pretty much the person that does a lot of the grunt work, or the art director. And that's from getting coffee to actually maybe doing a couple of illustrations. And then it progressed into video production. My first one was, it was a small commercial, and it basically was during the times of urban fashion. And it was a shoe commercial where there was a DJ, and instead of him actually cutting and mixing with his hands, he actually did the cutting and mixing with the shoe. That was my favorite commercial, and my first. I found my purpose and passion the day I met Lavetta and Lance Simpson. That changed my outlook on how I should, pursue my career far as a filmmaker. Extreme growth. I learned what hard work and dedication was really all about. And I learned a lot of things during that 8-year period of working for them. The most difficult part of being in this particular industry are more of a challenge. When things are difficult, like say for instance, I'm on set and I'm working with a particular project and I don't like the project for one.
Cut! What the fuck is that sound?
Not me, it's a camera.
Fuck it is, it's off. It wasn't even running, dick glass.
What is going on down there? Do I have a lockup?
Professionalism comes into play, and the passion to actually make something out of nothing that I'm interested in comes into play. The most challenging thing is just is finding like-minded people that are looking to actually create something that's going to leave an impact. When you're dealing with minimal resources, your equipment is limited, and you have to really be creative. I would say the greatest reward is when I finish a project and I look back and I look at that timeline, or I look at, the actual trailer or the actual piece playing on the screen, and I was like, man, I had something to do with that. If I could go back in time in regards to my career, it would have been nice to maybe go to film school for associate's or a bachelor's degree or something like that, just to have some standards in my arsenal. We all are creative to some form, shape, or fashion, right? But having the standard understanding of color space, conceptualizing a shot, just the basic things that you need to know in filmmaking is probably the primary things you need to know for the best films you made. Some of the greatest films are films that are, at a glance, look very simple, but the way they shot the film and the way they took time to put the composition together, those things are something that is not self-taught. You have to be taught that. And those are the basic things that you need to know in filmmaking. Work hard, and you're only going to be as good as your last job. So your impression that you leave after every job is going to set you up for your next job. And that could be the job that you might not like. I've had a few. But I know when I walked off that set that they remembered me. They remembered something about me that I did that will make them call me back again. Even though I didn't like the job, but I didn't let them know that. That's the best advice I can give you, and a tip.